This one. All right, you do the last voter. I gave it to Lynn. How you doing? No time. Let's see. I'm gonna come on here. I'm double park. I gotta go. Start the meeting, right? It's okay. It happens. You gotta tell the voter to turn it around. You cannot do it this way. You're gonna do it this way and this way. Right? Right. I'm gonna let it clear. Then that's my time. I'm gonna push it all the way to the back. Then it's gonna take it. Blank ballot. Is it going to happen? Probably. You get a few of these. Now the voter has two choices. Remember I told you after scanning, the voter always has two choices. They're either going to return it or cast it. Now the voter goes, oh no, I know it's blank. I'm okay. I just don't like anybody. I don't like anyone that's in the count. It happens, right? And the voter's going to say, I know it's blank. I just want to make sure that I came to the table and I signed my name. Because remember, ballots do not have names. The only thing that the Board of Election know is that Sam signed that vote. They don't know who I voted for, so they don't know if my ballot was blank or not. They only know that I gave it a sign. Also, I don't like this election. It's not my election. I don't like it. I can do whatever I want with my ballot, right? Also, I'm getting ready for the next election, that presidential election. So the reason why I signed that vote was I want to make sure that my name appears in the voter registration for next year. I'm an active voter. That's how that. Because if you don't vote for a few years, Board of Elections sometimes they automatically drop your name. They don't pick and choose; it just automatically fades away because you haven't voted for a while. They're going to assume that you moved or moved on. Okay. Okay. So there you go. So I say it's okay. I'm going to say I know it's blank, so I'm going to cast it. Or I can say I just thought that's what you do. I'm sorry, I need it back. So I'm going to return it, and then where you guys going to send me as a good gesture? To the B and D. That's right. Ballot marking device. Make sense? Or I could just say, no, I know how to mark it, and then just mark it manually. But I'm okay. I just wanted to sign that book, and I'm ready to go. Any questions?
As a voter, you come in, you go to the table, you get something to result in the sleeve. You bring the sleeve to the table, or you bring the sleeve to the front?
Great question. I'm going to repeat that whole scenario. You come into your post site, you go to your table, you give your name, they find it. They confirm your address. It's good. They're going to give you, after you sign it, they're going to give you a ballot inside a privacy sleeve. They're going to say to you, if they like, the BMD is just a ballot marking device. You can use that device, or you can mark it on your own, privacy booth. So I choose the BMD. We saw how that worked, right? Remember how it worked? It worked great for me. I use it all the time when I go to Clark City. So I marked it, the ballot came back out, marked. I put it back into my privacy sleeve, and then I approached the scanner. That's my third step and last. I took my ballot and I inserted. And I just showed you the different scenarios that could happen. Mine was good, it went straight down to the ballot box. I had already given you my privacy sleeve, and then I just walked out the door. Step 1, get your ballot. Step 2, mark your ballot. Step 3, scan your ballot. Step 4, I like to say, out the door. Are we clear? Everything's good? Francesca, you good? You good? No. The scanner will accept your ballot to count the vote. The BMD just marks it. That's why in the very beginning I said this is not a voting device. It is a marking device and does not print out a receipt and it doesn't have a memory. So that's why a lot of people like the BMD because they're just going to open it, guide it, close it, the wall. Because they're not waiting for a receipt. Makes sense, right? It's just marketing. It's like a big pencil. That's what that is. Marketing is easy. All right. Any questions on opening? That's easy, right? That's exactly how you would open. Again, the only reason why it would become complex is because you're trying to overanalyze. Try to open, one thing when you should be supposed to be at another. You know what I mean? You cannot turn on the screen unless you plug it on. Plug it on. Check to see how the process, right? Any questions? We opened it, we got the receipts, we showed you a few voters, right? Different types of voters. Everybody's okay? Now I want you guys to turn to page 51, please. Page 51. Page 51, and then I want you to go to number 14. Number 14 talks about emergency ballots. And I want you guys to pay close attention. Because I'm only going to go through this one time because I got to close this up. Alright? Now, page 51, number 14, I want someone to read that situation. This is part of special situation at the scanner, okay? So somebody read the guy.
Okay, emergency ballot. There is a box on the voter registration list for second emergency. This is when all systems are not working. The coordinator will tell you when to use these procedures. Voter signs, the voter registration list, check the emergency box on the list, and write in the stub number, give the voter a scannable ballot.
Thank you. Now, is this going to happen? I had one person tell me that it happened to them out of all the years. It might happen. Emergency. Now, the only time we go into emergency mode is if all scanners are unscannable. What does that mean? If I cannot scan my ballot, it needs either an A or a B. It's broken. So now what the coordinator is going to do, he's going to say to the site, hey, we need to go into emergency. So the people at the table just hold on with the voters. We need to set up scanner A so we can prepare that emergency box. Because if it's not scanning, where are we going to put the ballots? So the Board of Elections has this emergency ballot box so that the voters now can come to A, and A, only A, and insert their ballots in here. I'm going to show you how that works. We don't have to remember this. It's all in your book. All right? And also, it's very rare. Okay? Now, I'm going to go back here, and my bipartisan and I, we're going to remove the E. Now, remember, while we're setting the scanner A, the people at the table are now telling the voters, right? Because if I come to the table and I give you my name, now next to my name, next to every voter's name, there's a list of special situations. I'm going to go through that list. But one of the boxes that are in there as special situations is emergency. So if we're in emergency mode, when you give me my ballot, you have to check off emergency next to my name because I'm an emergency voter. And in the remarks, you got to put scan this down. You see how simple is that? When I show you, when we go back and show you on the screen, the voter registration list is going to make sense when I show it to you. I like to talk about it. When we go back, I like to show you, okay? So the people at the table are getting ready. They're checking off. They're giving ballots. Hey, a voter, he or she, go by the way here side and use scanner A. They're going to guide you, okay? Now listen. The coordinator is going to want you to do two things. Either do this, or they're going to tell you to place a privacy sleeve over it so you can cover it. Okay, to cover the screen. Okay, something like this. I can't use this one because I need it. But they're going to do something like that. So that the voter can look at it and go, whoa, and you just, excuse me, sir, man, insert it. I'm going to open it now. Okay, guys? So we emergency, right? When do we go into emergency? When all scanners are down. Okay, we're ready to go. My bipartisan eye, I'm going to cut my second yellow because I got to get in here. I'm going to hand it to my bipartisan. I'm going to take my flathead key. My flathead key, I'm going to open up the emergency. I'm going to put the silver flap down. You guys are with me? Gabrielle, you with me? Go. Now I'm going to get handed the third yellow. So if I told you I had 3 yellows, there we go. If we need it, we're going to use it. I'm going to take my keys and place it back into the envelope because I don't need them anymore. Now, the voters that come in and line it up, I'm going to use now the voters that approach scanner A, the people at the scanner is going to say, excuse me, sir, man, can you insert it into the box? Okay, no problem. See that? Here you go. Next voter. How you guys doing? I'm okay. What happened? Oh, scanner's not working, but we're going to make sure that your ballot's safe. Have a great day. That's it. Now, I know, I'm doing it on purpose. You see that? The last, oh, here you go. Here you go. All of a sudden, when that person inserted that, the technicians came and they fixed the problem. And so now all scanners are up and ready to go to regular voting mode. It happened, right? Because remember, the technicians, they called them, they're on their way. And they fixed the problem. And now we don't need this anymore. But remember, there's ballots in there, so we have to do something with those ballots. Okay? Any questions about the emergency?
We're going to move the ballot now.
I'm going to get there in a few minutes. Are we okay with this process? When we go into emergency? When all scanners break down. Make sense? And what scanner letter we use? A. A. There you go. All right. Can I close this up? That's all you do. As the scan inspector, that's all you do. I showed you a few situations: blank, overvote, and the regular voter. See that? And then I showed you the emergency. That's really all how it goes all day. Oh, it's your choice, man. Whatever you like, cast it or return it. Okay. All day. Okay? If we have an emergency, that's exactly what you do. Go in, get your keys, cut the yellow, open the flap, close it, put the third yellow, and emergency. Excuse me, sir, ma'am, emergency. Excuse me, sir, ma'am, emergency. Now the coordinator, when the scanners are up and running again, we're going to probably put a tape here. So that way nobody can, by mistake, put anything there. Okay? So he or she will do that. They'll remember that.
You don't scan them?
I'm going to get it in about 5 minutes. Because we got to do something with those ballots. Any more questions about opening? All right. Can I close this up? All right. If you can please. Go to page 71 for me, please. Go to page 71. And just watch, and just stop right there, because I'm not going to go step by step, but I just want you to know what page we're in when we close the scan. Okay? So page 71. Now we're ready to close. My bipartisan is getting my keys together. My keys. I'm going to come over here. My bipartisan is with me, right? She want to make sure that everything's done, right? I'm going to cut this yellow. You see with me? Remember, there's ballots in here if you get emergencies. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to give it to my bipartisan. Make sure everything's good. I'm going to take my flathead key. I'm going to open this up like this. Nobody's at your site. Remember, all the voters are gone. You see that? We're closing. It's 9 o'clock. The police officer closed the doors. Now everybody's scrambling to close their position. The PMD, the table, and now the scanners all together. We're all closing. Right? You got that concept? Good. Now, oh, we got emergency. I'm going to remove. I'm going to place these emergencies just like this. For now, carry on. This is important. Look, I'm going to place them just like that. I'm going to put my flap up and close the emergency. Good. I'm going to get handed a red. That was my first because I had emergency. Just like that. Okay? Now I got to do something with these ballots, right? I'm going to take my piece, put them on top of the back because there's somebody here. Now I'm going to give one to my bipartisan, and I'm going to keep 2. Or I can do it in reverse. My bipartisan is going to insert the ballot inside the scanner. Because originally that's what the voter wanted to do. So we got to do it together. Okay? It doesn't matter what shows up here. You got to hit cast. It's none of your concern. And remember, ballots don't have names. Remember that? So let's finish the task for the voter. The next ballot, I'm not looking at the ballot. I'm just going to insert it. You see that? Doesn't matter what comes up. Hit cast. You see that? We don't care. We just got to get rid of them. We got to make sure they fall into that box. Then I got the last emergency. Right? Now listen to this. I'm going to scan it. It does it, it comes back out. So I'm going to flip it over. Scan it, it comes back out. I'm not doing it the 3rd time because it might get jammed. And then you have to wait for an hour for a technician to come so he can take that ballot out. It's not that serious. Thank you. Just try it twice and then leave it alone. Now, you have to do something with this ballot, right? So now, take your scanner booklets out. Remember the scanner booklets that we were working with, right? Take those things out, right? That's right. Take it out and go to the page where it says emergency. I got you. Right there. Emergency. You got it? No, you got it. That's right. That's right. It's very simple. It's just asking you for the AD and the ED, and it's asking you how many ballots are you writing down. How many ballots are you writing down?
One.
Only one. Only one.
Is that like a number? You don't have the number of the ballot?
No, not the number of the ballot, but where the ballot came from. We already know the AD, right? Because that's how we got to work. We went to AD. We use Castle Hill as an example. So if we in Castle Hill, our AD is 87.
Okay.
So we'll put on there 87. And then all you have to find out, if you're at the scanner, all right, her and I at the scanner, we have to find out what table it came from, ED. So now at the back of your ballot, of this ballot, it's going to tell you what table it came from because it's going to say ED 22, ED 25, ED 78, whatever it is. So after you fill out your scanner booklet, fill that out, you're going to take this ballot, we're going to both look at it and go, oh look, it comes from 22. Deborah, this is yours. Because when you do the return to canvas to do your numbers, you're going to miss one, and that's one you're missing. You see that? Also, she might have some voids. So the void plus this one emergency is going to add up to that number she started with in the morning. Make sense? Right, Arthur? Gabrielle, you good?
Yeah.
It's good. It's starting to make sense, right? That's why we need to give stuff back where they belong. Okay? Now, before I move on, I'm going to go a little bit ahead, and there's a reason why. Okay, so please just bear with me. Because I'm going to tell you what to do, but I'm also going to show you when we get back to the other room. I need to discuss this while I'm here. I know I'm closing up the scanner, but let me get to the table for a second, okay? The ballots not only come with EDs in the back, because we need to find out where the ballot comes from, but also the ballot is going to be represented by a style number. I'm going to repeat that, and I'm going to go over it real quick. And very early in the morning, when the table inspectors are setting their table up, they're going to get ballot books. So now let me just talk about one table, and let me just talk about one party, okay? So let's say September, there's only one table at your site, very small. And let's just make believe that on that table, there's only one party running. Make sense? Right? So Deborah at her table is going to have 4 pads of Democratic Party, right? Because only the Democrat is running that day. So she is going to have, Deborah is going to have 4 pads. Each pad carries how many ballots? 25. So 25 times 4 is 100. So Deborah already knows that. Oh, at the day of the morning, she knows that she has 100 ballots to start with. So at the end of the night, she knows to end up with 100. We clear? Deborah is going to take the first pack of ballots, which is 1 to 125. She's going to take those other 3 pads and put them away. Make sense? Good. The Democratic Party, those ballots that Deborah has on her table, is going to be represented by a style number. So let's just make believe that Deborah's pack of Democratic ballots is represented by style number 353. Are we clear? Are we clear? Okay, now look. When I give this back to Deborah, and the receipt at the end of the night, start to print out, there's going to be 2 receipts printing out in one. It's going to be pretty long. The first receipt at the end of the night, at the end is going to say end of report. It's actually like this small. Really, like that small. The first receipt. I'm going to cut it where it says end of report. I'm going to take that first receipt and put it on the wall by the table. That receipt is broken down by style numbers. But the Board of Election wants to know how many style numbers from Deborah's table, style number 353, went into scanner letter A. That receipt is going to be on the wall, and it's going to have a total of how many came out of her table with that style number into A. Does that make sense? That's how we do the return of canvas. I'm going to show you everything on the screen, I promise you. It's going to all make sense. Now let's say this table is a different table, but they are, of course, Democrats, right? Their style number is 002. They have to go to that receipt and find their own style number so that they can do their own numbers. It's going to be broken down by style number. Make sense? Okay, so when I go back and I show you on the screen and I show you that return to canvas, it's going to even clear. It's going to make a lot of sense. Okay? I'm glad I was able to get the output. The first receipt at the end of the night is going to print out. You're going to print A on it, put it on the wall. The second receipt goes to the poll watchers because it's broken down by candidates. Two different receipts at the end of the night. Okay, are we clear? All right. Let's go. I have to go because it's 9 o'clock. I'm going to open up. I'm going to hit close poll. Right? There's going to be a little button. It's going to say close poll. Next to the close poll button is that PMD, Programmable Memory Device. It's an election media. Right? You see that's telling me, hey, you ready to close poll? Absolutely. But before we close poll, remember the two numbers we needed? You have to write those down in your scanner booklet. Remember that? So the new number is public count number 4, right? We got 4 ballots in here. And then the new number is 323. Make sense? Can we all do that? Right? We all can I move on?
Yeah.
Everybody. Okay, good. So I got those 2 numbers. I got my return, I got my scanner booklet. I wrote the 2 numbers down. Now I got this to the side. I'm the scanner inspector. I got my scanner booklet to the side. I'm going to see if I need that. All right? So now look, listen up. I'm going to hit close poll. I'm going to hit close poll. I'm going to get my yellow pouch ready. Remember the sheep of the morning? I'm good. I'm going to take my pink Ziploc bag, put it on the table, just like that. Because I'm ready to roll. Remember the 2 receipts I told you? It comes in one at the end of the night? Look, it's coming out now because I hit close poll. Look, it's printed out. I'm going to leave that just like that. Then now look, it's asking me, excuse me, not asking me, it's telling me printing report, save to remove election media. Before, you would have to wait for this whole thing to print out before you took the media out. Not anymore. It's going to print out so we can get rid of it. Remember that? Yeah. We used to wait for like 15 minutes for that receipt. Now we can take it out. So let me ask you a question. When do we remove the media? When do we remove it? When the screen tells you to. I'm going to repeat it one more time. When do we remove the media? When the screen tells you to. Make sense? Now look. Stay with me, guys. Stay with me. I'm going to take this PMD.
When did you even put that in?
I'm sorry?
When did you put it in?
I didn't put it in. It came in there already.
Oh.
Right. Yeah, they all have one. This is all the election memory. So now look. Am I going too fast?
No.
Everybody's okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to take my media, put it into my pink Ziploc bag. The pink Ziploc bag is going to come with a paper seal wrapped on. I'm going to show you the paper seal in the next one. I'm going to take my pink Ziploc bag and put it into my yellow pouch, like this. I'm going to close it, but I'm not going to lock it. That's the coordinator's job. Guys, if once you do this step, you're good to go. Because the coordinator is going to walk around with the yellow bag asking for it. Because the coordinator is going to go ahead and do something with that. Once that's out of your hand, you're good to go. See that? Your job is done. This here, you're going to take your time. Because that PMD is out the door. You're going to come here, and you're going to look for that first receipt. Remember the first one I talked about? With all the style numbers? I'm going to cut it where it says end of report. I'm going to take this and put it to the side, or my bipartisan is going to hold it. put A on here. The first receipt is broken down by style number. You see that? Style numbers. These are all style numbers. The people at the table are going to look for their own style number. Deborah is going to look for style number 353. Why? Because that's the style number that's representing Deborah's table for those ballots. Make sense? So she's just going to go, Deborah's going to go to this receipt A, and look for her style number and fill out her return to canvas, which I'm going to show you in a few minutes. Everybody's good? Mm-hmm. All right. Style numbers. Mm-hmm. These are all style numbers. These are all style numbers.
Okay.
You see that? So you look for your own style number, look for it here, go to the right, and look for how many came to scan it out. Are we good? Sir, you good? Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to put this somewhere by the table. I'm going to connect that. And then remember, there might be a scanner B. So if Deborah comes to scanner A to get to her results, she's got to go to scanner B and look for her style number. And remember, she's got to find out how many people came here and you scan A, and also how many people came here from her table and you scan B. By style number. It's broken down. All you got to look for your number. The second receipt is going to be this long. They also want you to put an A on top of it. And they also want you to put 2 signatures at the end. Right, from the bipartisan. And my bipartisan and I are going to put this away from the table. Remember the poll watchers guy poster? Remember I told you the poll watcher come and try to touch your stuff and you say, hey, read that? This is where they want you to put that, underneath that poster. Because this receipt, the second one, is broken down by candidate. The first one is by style number. So if I ask you true or false, both receipts are the same. What are you going to say? No. What are you going to say?
False.
Thank you. All right, let's finish closing up here. We're good. We got our numbers, bold. We got the PMD left already. We got both receipts on the wall. They're not the same. One is style, the other is candidate. Right? I'm gonna turn this off. Right? Shut this down. Just like this. My bipartisan. I got my scanner booklet ready. Right? Everything's pre-printed. I got the new numbers, the morning, the night. The yellow polish is gone. I'm gonna put this right here. I gotta wait for that. Are we good to go? We're already wrapping stuff up. Right? Put it to the side. We remove them. Now, I'm not going to take this out yet. I'm going to wait for this to finish off. I'm going to cut the yellow. Give it to my bipartisan. I'm going to close one door. I'm going to take my red. Screen is off. I'm going to take my ballot just like this. I'm going to lift it slightly and crease it. I'm going to take my ballot, see that? Crease it. I'm going to close one door. And my bipartisan is going to close the other one. I'm going to take my other red. I'm going to close this. Put this through the hoop. Bless you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I'm going to lock it. I'm going to make sure that it's nice and tight. Just like that. I'm going to take this, push it to the side. I'm going to take my scanner booklet, put it on top. I had already closed this. I'm going to take my last red, close it up. Go to the back, I'll plug it. Take the black cord, put it in the cord compartment, close it with my flathead key. I'm going to take my scanner, put a plastic over it, and I'm going to push it to the wall. I'm going to take my key envelope, my key into the key envelope. I'm going to take my key envelope and into this envelope. My keys, the 3 yellows, and the 3 yellows and the 3 greens are in here with my security code, my emergency, and of course my keys and the field report. I'm going to close this envelope.